Hello, everybody. Welcome to cricketworld.com. We are back again with our daily match insights video. It's the 4 days play that we're going to be looking at the Lord's Cricket Ground in the third test match between England and India. And as always, I've got Nikhil Narayan to analyze the 4 days play and look at what is going to be an exciting fifth day's action in the test match. Nikhil, you've got to say at this stage, England have their noses ahead in this contest because uh, India lost three quick wickets towards the end and now need 135 more runs to go 2-1 up. But it's England who are looking like they are on a rampage right now.
Absolutely, Chandresh. India have ceded the advantage. They had in England on the ropes with a target of less than 200 on that Lord's wicket. India should have started favourites in the chase, but at 58 for 4, one has to say it is advantage England. I would say it's 70% to England and 30% to India on the start of day five. At the start of day five, so India, it will be crucial how the first hour plays out. If Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul can bat out the first hour, scoring even 20, 30 runs, that's irrelevant. I think India are back again in the chase. If even if they lose one of them in the first hour or so, I think England will be all over India.
Yeah, just wanted to also bring up a stat that I read about. The stat says that since 2015, teams that have not chased scores of 200 or less than 200, it's India at the top. They haven't chased. They had three opportunities before this, and Pakistan also had three opportunities, and all three times both these sides failed. And once it's been with Australia and Ireland. Also in 2018, the first test match of that series in England at Birmingham, India had a similar target of 193, but they couldn't chase it down and lost by 31 runs when you had the likes of Kohli and Rahane and Pujara plus Hardik Pandya at that time playing test cricket. So history in every possible way, or rather recent history in every possible way is against India. Will that count for anything at all?
I mean, it does play at the back of your mind, although I do not think that many players are aware of these numbers. But the team analysts, coaches, etc., they do understand. I mean, they are aware. That such a record exists on a particular ground. Another stat is that at Lords, only two non-English teams, only two opposition teams have chased above 250. Ever in Lords. One of the West Indies 344 for one, that Greenwich Haynes great partnership 1984, and South Africa chased down 282. At Lords in 20. That's a World Test Championship final, which just happened, a month back against Australia. So apart from that, the highest chase by a non-English team at Lords is Pakistan's 138 in 1992. So the numbers are heavily stacked against India, but remember, this is not a traditional Lord's wicket. Yes, the wicket has changed a bit over the course of the 4 days. Bit uneven bounce, a lot of ball rising off a short of a good leg, especially with the new ball, and the wicket is turning. But England doesn't have the services of Shoaib Bashir. So overall, I think India did have a great chance of you know uh, chasing down the 190 plus target here. But haven't given that start, having losing those four wickets, I think it is advantage England, Chandresh.
Yeah, interesting. And also, just looking at what happened at the 4 days play, Siraj picked up two early wickets, and then just when it seemed like Harry Brook was trying to run away uh, with the innings, you had Akash Deep producing an intelligent piece of bowling. Uh, it took some time for India to again break through because Ben Stokes and Joe Root really troubled India with that 67 run stand that they had for the fifth wicket. How crucial is that stand going to be?
Yes, that stand, it came after initially a brilliant spell of fast bowling by Bumrah to Crawley, and then as you mentioned, Siraj was absolutely fantastic. He got Ben Duckett out, then he got Ollie Pope leg before wicket, taking a fantastic review. Uh, Ultimately, Crawley fell to Nitish Reddy, ending his miserable stay at the crease, looked very uncomfortable. Then Harry Brook, played a few, lap shots or scoop shots, and he looked very adventurous, trying to take the game away in typical baseball style for England. Ultimately, took a risk one too many. And a good change of field by Akashdeep, putting a deep fine leg, and then Harry Brook tried to play the scoop a little squarer, and in that process, he got his saw his stumps being rattled. The partnership you spoke about, I mean, one does expect a team like England to offer some resistance. It was 67, so it did not sort of take the match away from India. And it was between the best batter in England amongst the greatest of all time, Joe Root and Ben Stokes. So that partnership, I don't think India was too disappointed by it. Uh, and once again, it was Washington Sundar, who then sort of ran through the England middle order. First, he got rid of Joe Root, then he got cleaned up Ben Stokes, then he got the biggest wicket I thought was of Jamie Smith, who can score a quick fire 30, 40, 50, which could have been a match winning knock in the third innings. But he got him for eight. And also he got Shoaib Bashir. So I think Washington Sundar picking up those three quick wickets was a sort of a turning point, tilting the match heavily in India's favour before Bumrah came and ended England's innings, giving India just a target of 193 in the fourth innings.
Yeah, also that Bumrah spell, he didn't get wickets. He was looking good with the ball, but then towards the end, he came and cleaned up the tail where he picked up Bryden Cars, who's troubled India with the bat, and Chris Wokes, who scored a lot of runs against India in the past. So he did well over there, did Bumrah. That left India with a target of 193. And the chase was not what India expected because Yashasvi Jaiswal, you've got to say, Nikhil, he was once again undone by the extra pace of Jofra Archer because the ball climbed on him and he had premeditated himself into playing that shot, the top edge which went up and easy catch in the end.
Yes, that shot was definitely not on that delivery. It was quick. It was outside the off stump. It was a sharp bouncer. The shot he could have attempted was an upper, should have attempted was an uppercut, but he went for a hook shot, very risky. Just kite the ball, and that was the end of Jaiswal. A big wicket early on because Jaiswal can get India rollicking starts, which takes the pressure off in a relatively low chase. A bit careless on Jaiswal's part, given the situation of the match, given that Jofra Archer with the new ball was England's biggest threat. He just had to see him off, and the runs would have flown thereafter. So a bit disappointing to see Jaiswal's temperament, and there is, I think, opposition teams have also discovered there is a bit of a problem he has against the short pitch delivery. So that he has to sort of work on, Chandresh.
Yeah. Also, then the chase was progressing okay, and at that time, Karun Nair, who had this fabled comeback to Test cricket, uh, made a horrendous decision to let to shoulder arms really, and that proved to be his undoing. And from there on, from 41 for one, India just slipped further and further away.
Absolutely. All was going well for India, 41 for 1. They looked good. Rahul looked compact, in control, as he did in the first innings. And Karun Nair, he got a boundary away. He was looking good till, a moment of brain fade, one would imagine, completely misjudging the line and length of the delivery, offering no shot, and he was plumb leg before wicket uh, to Kas, who was in the middle of a brilliant spell, and that sort of opened the floodgates. Shubman Gill, was off to a peach of a delivery again, leg before wicket to Kas, and then Akashdeep, who was the night watchman, was cleaned up by Stokes. Interestingly, KL Rahul took a single, gave Akashdeep the strike, and Akashdeep was cleaned up by Stokes. So a bit of a I mean, I guess Rahul's wicket was more important than the night watchman's, and therefore he had to do that. But 58 for four. Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul. I think that partnership will be the defining partnership of this match.
Just wanted to understand the Shubman Gill dismissal. Do you think he was distracted, or that what happened the previous day when he took on Zach Crowley and Ben Duckett? and when the English players dished it back to him when he came out to bat, that sort of distracted him because he's not the sort of guy that can take on players. That was more of a facet of Virat Kohli's game, that he enjoyed taking on rival teams and rival players, and it sort of egged him on to perform better. Is that what cost Shubman Gill, because he was looking very tentative last evening?
I mean, yes, it might have been playing at the back of his mind. There was a lot of chatter by him. He was a bit animated on the field, talking to the umpires, not happy about the change of ball. Lot of controversy. Otherwise, Shubman Gill usually is a cool, calm, and collected, player on the field. But I think he just got a bit, carried away, and that might have played at the back of his mind with all the English players also sort of giving it back when he came out to bat. Uh, but I think more than that, I thought it was a breach of a delivery from Cast also, and Gill, wasn't good enough despite the number of runs he's got to sort of, play that ball. So he was just like before wicket.
And what did you make of the decision to send in a night watchman? Does night watchman, the concept itself, need a revisit? Because it was a waste of a wicket in the end.
Yes, I think in hindsight it does, because what it does is, if the conditions are tricky, the opposition is bowling well, and the night watchman is not adept to, if he's a good defender, one can understand. So I would have actually sent someone like a Washington Sundar who can, or a Ravindra Jadeja, and not an Akashdeep, because the chances of Akashdeep getting out when the bowling team is fired up are very high, and that's just 58 for three just looks better at the end of day's play than 58 for four. And now it just puts extra pressure on Pant and the rest of the lineup when they come out to bat. So I think teams need to relook at this night watchman thing, because it just if you're just sending in a night watchman and he's going to get dismissed, I mean it's really no point. It puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the lineup.
Because we've seen with this particular Indian team think tank, they've also sent in someone like a Mohammad Siraj ahead of Bumrah and the others as well, which makes no sense because Mohammad Siraj is a certified number 11. You'll probably see him show off a certificate as well to show that he's a number 11 batter. And we saw in the case of Akashdeep, he just didn't get in line when Stokes was bowling in that final over, and he was dismissed right on the stroke of stumps. So now looking ahead to the day's play, the fifth day's play, uh, it's looking difficult for India, you would say.
It is difficult for India. As I said, 70% advantage to England. But if Pant and KL Rahul can bat out the first hour and 15 minutes, I think then, and score around 30, 40 runs. If you are around 90, if India is around 95 for four, at the after 1 hour of play on day five, I think they are back in the chase. But even if they lose one of KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant, I think India in big trouble, and the England bowlers would be all over India.
So there you have it, our verdict at the end of the 4 days play, and looking ahead to the fifth day's play. All you need to do is like, share, and subscribe, and comment on this video. Keep logging on to cricketworld.com and be part of the conversation with Nikhil and myself. That's it for now. We'll be back again with the fifth day's review. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. It's goodbye and God bless from Nikhil and myself.